Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we are here live on 100.9 FM, KWTN, the Big Voice Radio, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. We are here for Winnebago Sports Talks for episode number 8. And I just want to give a shout out to all the listeners out there, all the dedicated listeners. I think that the last couple times that we've been on, we maybe cleared 20 listeners, and we're looking for everybody to tune in. We got a lot of sports to talk about. You know, the Winnebago Indians have been on a run. Both boys and girls been looking really good right now, about a little after mid-season, right before the conference tournaments. So if you guys have if you're listening on your Facebook page, please click on that share button and let your friends on your friend list know that we got this show going on. We're gonna talk sports. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined here by the master, Bethany Redhorn, DJ Bessami.
Good evening.
And we're joined here by one of the coaches for our coaching staff at the high school here for the girls program, assistant coach and former Winnebago girls coach back in the 1990s, Coach Todd Alberts. Say hello to the people.
Hello.
So just so the listeners know, Coach Alberts, I saw this guy in the hallway one time, and he was staring at me. This was about the beginning of school season during football. He was staring at me, and I was like, man, look at this old white dude's looking at me. He's kind of crazy, and anyway, he kept on staring at me until I recognized him, and I was shocked, and I was like, Albs, and gave my friend a big old hug, and he was my high school assistant basketball coach, and we got real close as we were growing up in high school, and so I was really excited to see Coach Alberts back here in Winnebago. Mm-hmm. So we asked Coach to come up and talk with us. We can talk sports, but I think before we get into the sports, there's a lot of my friends out there that I grew up into high school with that also had Coach Alberts as their coach or their science teacher. And those of you that out there listening that didn't see Coach Alberts yet because you haven't been to one of the games or something like that, you need to stop up to one of the games and come watch your girls play. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so we're gonna get into this. Myself, I'm gonna ask Coach Alberts some questions because there's a lot of things that I want to know about his whereabouts. After Coach Alberts left Winnebago, he disappeared, and almost 2 decades later, he reappears, and there's a lot of things that we don't know. So I guess one of the first things, Coach, I was going to ask you is after you left Winnebago, or what year was it you left Winnebago, and then what was your first gig after you left Winnebago?
Okay, well, I left. I got here in 1987. I left in 1999.
Okay. 12
years. And we moved to Exeter, Nebraska.
Where's that?
Down south of York.
South of York. Okay, so down past Lincoln and everything.
Yep. So we moved down there, and I was the head girls basketball and track coach there for 3 years, and just didn't care for it. There, I don't know, it's too small of a school, and just didn't care for it.
3 years?
Yeah, 3 years there. Okay. And then I spent the next 20 years.
Next 20 years?
In St. Paul, Nebraska.
St. Paul, Nebraska.
I was head girls basketball coach there for 10 years and track coach. And that's pretty much where, I stayed until I came back here. And then.
So I remember when you guys were coaching us, you guys were like almost fresh out of college, and you guys were real gung-ho and stuff, and you had us boys running, boy. We had our practices were insane, and I think we look back at those days, and we used to love that. We used to love always being at practice and enjoying that time with our friends, and even after practice would be over, we'd head down to the other gym and go play some more games, and it was just so fun. But during your younger years, did you got married?
I got married.
Well,
Yep.
Would you get married when you were in Winnebago?
I got married. Yes.
Yes.
When I was in Winnebago.
And then
Yep.
so how about, do you have any children?
Yes, I have 3.
You have 3.
Yep.
And
I
now
have-
tell us about them, because we
Okay,
never even knew your kids.
We got Justin and Julie, and Julie's the oldest, and she's a veterinarian
Okay.
down in Oakland.
Okay.
And Justin's an electrician in Bancroft.
Okay.
And Kendra is a physical therapist
Nice.
and teaches anatomy and physiology at Mount Marty.
There you go.
And she's also an athletic trainer for Mount Marty.
Wow. There you go. That's amazing, man. Congratulations. Big ups to you and the wife for raising some really really good kids. That's amazing to hear that.
Yep.
I really am proud of you and your wife for all that stuff that you've done. In those younger years up until now. And it kind of seems only fitting that you would come back to Winnebago and to maybe finish off your career. Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, yes and no. We kind of got to the point where getting closer and closer to maybe hanging it up, as
Yeah.
far as teaching and stuff. But I my health's good, and I just never really wanted to give it up. I
Yeah.
enjoy doing what I'm doing, and so, but we wanted to get closer back to our kids,
Okay.
and so they all live right around in this area, so they're all close.
Yeah, just driving distance.
Julie's in Craig, Justin's in Bancroft, Kendra's up in Yankton, South Dakota, and so when we got ready to move, I told Terry, I said, I don't have a problem with leaving St. Paul and moving up here, but I said we got to find a place to go, and I remember her saying to me, she goes, well, where would you teach at? And I said, to be honest with you, the only place I'll go back to is Winnebago.
Yeah.
I said, I won't go anyplace else up here. I don't.
Oh man.
If I'm not going to teach, then I don't teach. But if I'm going to
Huge.
teach, I come back
That was
here.
huge, and then a big thank you to your wife for for going along with the idea and moving up this way, because. So I'm gonna say that I was happy to see you, and I see some of my friends that grew up and I went to school with, that were happy to see you. What's it been like here since you've been back?
Good.
The response
Good.
from the
It's
community.
been good. It's a lot of fun to be able to run into guys like you, and I've run into a lot of different people and stuff like this. I've had some of the girls that I've coached and stuff stop by my classroom and stuff like
yeah?
this. They got a visitor's pass, and what is it? Is it Teresa, Little George?
Yeah.
On the board and everything. She stopped by, and I didn't know that, and that's good for her. And but I just had a lot of all over those 12 years that I was here. A lot of these people come back, and that makes it kind of special.
Yeah, I know. I have my son Rockman. He's a 9th grader, and he has you in science. And I told him, I said, when I found out that you were here and you were teaching, I said, hey, what's your science teacher's name? And he said, oh, I think it's Mr. Albert. It's like that. And I was like, call him Albs. Call him Albs. We all called him Albs back in the day. But I told him that you were my science teacher and my coach when I was in high school, and he didn't believe me at first, because he knows how long it's been since I've been in high school, But Coach, good to have you back. So happy. I know of what I can see, the community's welcoming you back real good. I see you and your wife at the games, and you guys are always smiling. So you must kind of be enjoying yourself, and maybe even thinking that you made the right choice of the decision to move back this way.
Oh, I know we made the right.
Yeah.
We made the right decision, and I'm at the right school. I said I enjoy coming to to work every day, and I just enjoy being around the kids and the people here in the community and stuff like this. We've always been welcomed here, and yeah.
Okay. Well, I got 2 quick questions I was thinking of while you were giving us some of that information. First one is your children that you raised. Did you make them play basketball?
Justin played football.
Justin played football.
Julie was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And Kendra played basketball, run track, cross country.
Kind of all around.
Yeah. And then Kendra went on and played basketball at Concordia.
Oh, okay.
So she played down there.
Okay.
For the Bulldogs.
There you go.
So that was good.
Yeah, I always want to ask those coaches that the older school coaches, how their kids did or if they like basketball. And myself, I had 5 boys, 6 girls, and they all tried basketball. My girls didn't really care for it. They like watching it. They didn't really care for it. They were more volleyball players. But my boys all loved basketball. They all had dreams of going to the NBA, and I had one of my sons so far, one of the 3 that got out of high school, got to play some college ball. You met him, Greg the third. He's a big boy, and really proud of those kids for all the work they put in, because not only were they playing hoops in college, but they had to get there somehow, and that was doing their schoolwork, So, and that's kind of the ultimate goal, in basketball. It's just another kind of advantage you got if you're good. You could go get your education, and you play ball. It's something that you love to do. And maybe if you're good enough, that basketball will pay for some of that education too,
Yep.
And so that's one of the main goals that we always talk about with the kids growing up and playing sports. So the other question now, you said you coached girls basketball after Winnebago, 10 years at St. Paul. And how many years? Did you say 3 years at the other place?
3 years.
So 13 years of girls basketball. What was the closest you got to state?
The year we were in St. Paul, and we were 19-4.
19-4.
But that's back before they had the playoff system that they have now, where they take the top 16 schools and one plays 16, and that's how you get to state. Unfortunately, we had the number 1, the number 2, and the number 4 team in the state all in the same sub-district.
Oh, man.
And unfortunately, both teams that we lost, or the team that we lost to in the district finals, they ended up making it to state, and we had already beat them once in regular season.
Oh, so that probably burned a little bit,
yeah,
huh?
it did burn a little bit.
Hey, but so that was one game away, huh?
Yeah.
I think that was mine. That was my thing too. Back when Aaron LaPointe and Kenny Blackhawk and those guys were all seniors, and my son Greg was a freshman. I think we were 7 points away from state, and we had a lot of young guys on that team, and some good seniors, but there was nobody in between really. A couple here, a couple there, but nowhere as quick as they are right now. These boys, I don't know what they're eating nowadays, but those guys are fast, man. Those guys are fast. We're going to do a station identification.
Yeah, this is KWTN 100.9 FM, Allen, Nebraska, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe. Episode 8 here for Big Boy Sports Talk Show. Coach Q.
All right. Well, thank you, Bethany. And, guest, I want to say thank you to everybody who's listening out there on the radio.
Yeah, you did get a feedback from your from Kiara on YouTube.
Okay.
She said she was laughing about the long time comment.
The long time comment?
She just put long time. Said long time.
She's probably talking about the 20-something years that coach that was gone out there becoming a man.
Well, Garen thought I was in the Bermuda Triangle somewhere.
Oh yeah, well that's what we were joking about one time. We were saying, well, where was he? Nobody ever heard from him. He said, I think he got caught in the Bermuda Triangle. And then we thought that you'd show up and you'd still be the same age, but no.
That did not happen.
Yeah. So okay, well I tell you what, let's go ahead and get into some of these topics. And before we do, I want to say thank you for sharing some of your life with us, Coach. And I know that a lot of people that are listening, they're probably glad that I was asking some of those questions because they're real nosy like me. All right, so right off the bat, we're gonna get into some high school basketball. And we missed out last week on the episode because of the weather, and so there was a couple games that happened in this last 2 weeks, and we can go back and just kind of skim through a couple of these games real quick. Okay, so did we talk about Why Not already? I think we talked about Why Not. Ponca, I don't think you want to talk about the Ponca game. Pine Ridge. Okay, so Pine Ridge, this past Saturday, Pine Ridge came in to Winnebago, traveled all the way down this way. I think it's like a 7-hour drive or something like that. And the girls and boys met up with Winnebago. Well, the girls' game, I was there, and you guys did a really good job. And, man, it was a really kind of scrappy game, I like to call. And the Winnebago girls did not back down. Can you tell us a little bit about that game and kind of maybe some of the good things that you think the girls took out of it?
Well, I think one of the things was that we just kind of, again, all season long, we've been, I guess you could say, we're trying to find our identity, as a team. Each individual player, what their roles are out there, what's their job, and those kind of things. And I think we're starting to kind of see that, and we kind of saw that a little bit more in the Pine Ridge game, and the last 2 or 3 games that we've actually played, we've actually kind of seen that. But I just thought our demeanor on the floor seemed to be a little bit better. We just, like you said, we had that scrappiness about us a little bit, I don't want to say a little chippy.
Yeah, no, that's what I would say
we
too.
looked good, and I thought we played pretty good defense for the most part, and we shot the ball halfway, pretty decent. And that's been one of our downfalls with as young as we are. We're still getting used to running those offenses and press break and those type of things, but we also have had some difficulty putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
Too during the season.
Let me just say this about the Pine Ridge game. Okay, so I was there, and I think that even though the game was scrappy, there was a lot of scrappy rebounding, diving for the ball, the hard fouls, being really aggressive on the defensive end. The Winnebago girls did not want to back down, and I think, like myself, looking in as an outsider, I think that's the exact kind of game that the Winnebago girls needed to have, was a scrappy game where they actually fight back. Because you can remember that before the Christmas break, the schedule you guys had, the gals had, I mean, you guys had to go up against, Oakland and Homer and teams like that play full court defense, that have their shooters, have guards that can penetrate or shoot, and it was a really tough schedule before Christmas, and it did seem like the girls were getting bullied around a little bit. But at this point in the season, right before conference starts, the girls are fighting back. They're actually being scrappy out there, and especially in that Pine Ridge game, they weren't taking no stuff. They actually stuck together and they played hard and got the W. So I know the community was real happy about that game. So congratulations on the win from that game. And then I'm going to kind of blend and kind of piggyback off that and go right into this game that we witnessed last night against Bancroft. One thing that we were doing the live stream, and one thing we noticed is that coaching staff decided to start all sophomore lineup. And can you tell us about that?
Well, we just have a policy that we go by, and we've gone by all year long, and whether or not you start and whether you play and those type of things, a lot of it has to do with attendance in school and stuff like that. And so we try to make sure that schoolwork comes first and grades come first and some of those kind of things. And so those are some things that we were kind of dealing with. But we've also found out too in the last couple of games, let's see, the Pine Ridge game, I think Danny Harlan hit 5 threes for us in that game. And then the Bancroft game last night, Charlize went off with 6 of them.
Yep.
And those two are starting to kind of find their range now from three-point range. So, well, if they're shooting that well, we definitely want them on the floor, And I think, this last game, the Bancroft game, we had 3 girls in double figures. If I remember right, I think it was 18, 16, and 10.
Yep.
And the Pine Ridge game, we had, what was that, 17 or 17, 10, and I think we had 3 girls in double figures there too. So we're kind of starting to spread it around a little bit. Some of that's coming from inside, and some of it's coming from outside. And I think I think part of it is we're getting a little more confidence and that kind of stuff. And like you talked about, we played a really tough schedule at the beginning of the year, and when you're playing those teams right now, they're setting going into their conference tournaments at 15-1, 17-2, and all these teams are, in the top 5-10 in the state in the power points in their respective class. It's just making you better. If you want to be good, you got to play good teams.
Yeah.
But then you also need some teams more of your caliber. Sometimes on the learning years and stuff like this, in order to help build some confidence, amongst our girls too. So, I just think we're in general, and I think it was didn't we have a blocked? I think Amani tied the record.
Tied the record.
Maddie, is it Maddie Cleveland?
Maddie Cleveland.
Yes, had the record for 8 block shots in a season or in a game. I think she had 8 the other night against Pine Ridge.
Yeah, that was a huge game defensively.
So,
Let me throw my little 2 cents in about the girls program at this point that I can see as a fan of the game, as a coach, and just a person that loves to just even turn the TV on, just watch basketball. The Winnebago girls, what I noticed last night against Bancroft, and Bancroft is a pretty decent team. They have a lot of good ball players, and I always try to mention that I see a lot of these young men and these young women playing summer ball, and back in the day we didn't have that option unless we found a tournament on some other res or something like that. But they didn't have these arenas and these big old gymnasiums that can hold big giant tournaments and stuff like that. But they do now. And then, basketball's all around the calendar now, and so teams are getting better, individuals are getting better. And last night, the Bancroft and Winnebago game, there's on both teams, like half of the teams are playing summer ball. So it was a good game. And one thing that I noticed is that the Winnebago girls played with so much more poise and confidence. They were pressed hard the beginning of the year, and just turnovers and last night they took care of the basketball really good. They were being patient. They would pass and then advance up a little bit, then it would pass again. They would do nice bounce passes. They'd be patient and use their jump stops and their pivots just so they wouldn't get trapped and turn the ball over. Granted, there was some times when they did turn the ball over, but overall, especially a team like Bancroft, the girls played excellent by taking care of the basketball. Then it helped out a lot too that Frenchman went off in the first quarter with all those threes.
Yeah, she was 5 out of 5 from 3-point
5
range.
out of 5, and then come the third quarter, then Amani Means comes in and scores like 14 or 16 points along with 3 or 4 blocks and many rebounds, and is huge. So the girls are coming along. The only thing that I could say is for advice is you girls keep on doing what you're doing. You girls are doing a good job, and listen to your coaches. They're the ones that if you guys lose a game or anything like that, they're the ones that take the heat for that. So and then when you girls are playing good, you guys get all the credit for that. So continue on doing what you're doing. As a fan, I love watching you girls play basketball. You girls are going to do nothing but get better. So I appreciate all of you. We're going to do a station identification.
Thank you for joining us for episode 8 here on the Big Voice Sports Talk Show on KWTN 100.9 FM, Allen, Nebraska.
All right. So we're just going to go ahead and chop through this. I want to take a little extra time about girls basketball since you're up here with us talking, Coach. So I'm just going to get into boys basketball real quick. Like on last week we played Ponca, one of the rival teams, and it was an away game. Traveled up to Ponca to watch the game. Man, the boys come through. There were a couple players short, but they're just like I was talking about with the girls. The boys are coming together at a real good time of the season. We've seen some really, really good team basketball up there. When I say team basketball, not just passing the ball around good and letting sharing the basketball and let everybody score and all that. Not only that, but they were talking on defense. They were playing. They were trapping good and playing the passing lanes. And I mentioned this a little while ago about how fast these boys are. I hope that Winnebago, the boys basketball team, I hope they go out for track after basketball's over, and then I really hope that they can all get into like a 4x100 or 4x200 or even a 4x400 relay, because I think we can do some damage with the quickness that we have out there in the backcourt. But they really impressed me in Ponca. Coach Alberts, me and you sat together during that game, and we talked about how they were coming along and they were playing team basketball. Really happy I got to sit with you and visit with you during that game, because usually when I'm sitting there, I'm usually kind of like hollering stuff by myself and, maybe saying some comments to the refs by myself, but it was good to have a little sidekick over there doing the same thing with me. But yeah, so congratulations to the boys on that win at Ponca. They played Pine Ridge. Oh man, it was a really, really good game. Same thing, physicality. We played them on past Saturday night, right after you guys got the win against Pine Ridge. Coach Casey Means and Coach Jess Hart brought the boys down, and man, that you could tell they did a real good job, or they're doing a real good job with these boys. Condition, that game was just it seemed like a track meet up and down the court. It was nonstop on both sides. Physical game all the way down to the wire. Winnebago's down by, I think we lost by 1. Winnebago's down by 1, and we get the ball with the final shot, and we get a couple passes and a wide open shot. Young man, Cassius Carnes gets to take the shot, wide open shot. That's what Winnebago wanted, was a good look at the basket. Rattled in, rattled out. Good shot though. That's what I was telling him, Cassius. That's what Winnebago needed, was a good shot, and he was the guy to take it, because at that time, with the time left on the clock, he was the guy that had the ball in his hand. And hey, you never know if you're gonna ever have one of those moments in your life unless you have an opportunity, and he had the opportunity that time. And I know that he was feeling bad, but hey, I told him there's gonna be another opportunity, sometime down the road, and you're not gonna miss that one. And so just keep your head up. So, good job for those boys for that night. And then one last game against Bancroft. Last night, the Winnebago boys basketball team came in. I believe that Bancroft was, they said they were 9-4 or 10-4.
12-3.
12-3. So 12-3, come in with a good record, and came into a really packed crowd in Winnebago, and just kind of like the girls' game. One of the players, Duran Blackfish, come out and he was hot. I think he scored the first 14 of 16 points for Winnebago, getting hot, hitting all those threes, taking to the bucket. Set the tone for the rest of the game for Winnebago, and another good team win. We were talking about how the defense is. The defense is playing better as a team. The boys are passing the ball around, sharing the ball. Doing that extra pass. That one extra pass that maybe just a little bit more wide open than the one that you got. And the boys are noticing those things and getting the ball to the right people. And then our guards been hot. Kevin Tebow and Timmy LaPointe been down there banging and getting all the rebounds down there. And then one last note before we go ahead and move on to the next topic is one of our seniors, Reese Lovejoy, over the course of his career, last night, I believe it was during the third quarter or maybe the beginning of the fourth, or no, it was halfway through the fourth quarter, he needed 5 points to get to his career 1,000 point. And yeah, as soon as somebody heard that he needed only 5 points, the Bago team, I think they put all the freshmen in, the bench mob. They put the bench mob in and left Reese out there, and the youngsters got Reese the ball a couple times, and he hit a three, and then he went in for a layup. He got his 1,000 point. So congratulations to Reese Lovejoy for making his name onto the 1,000-point player mark for Winnebago here. And I actually have a T-shirt right here. This T-shirt that's sitting next to me for the viewers that can see that.
Mm-hmm.
The first person online that can tell me who the most recent 1,000-point basketball player for the boys basketball team was for Winnebago. First one to answer that gets this T-shirt. Okay.
And we can see it, so.
Okay, you can see that shirt right there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. I know that we got
have
about...
a comment.
You got a comment?
We got David Winget.
The answer is no.
No.
He was the man, but he wasn't the most recent.
So we need the most recent.
The most recent. Okay, so as we're waiting for those, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next subject. One that I kind of want to talk about, really. And Coach Alberts, if you
got
have...
one on YouTube as well. Sorry.
Oh, what's the YouTube one?
We got Caleb Carnes.
That is it. Who was that on there?
Rocky Carnes.
Oh, Rocky Carnes. Okay, Rocky, got a T-shirt right here for you. The Bench Mob. You can stop up to the radio station at some point, or we could even deliver it to your mailbox. Okay, so we're going to get into the high school wrestling. High school wrestling is like on a frenzy right now. Just a couple notes real quick. Like, a couple of weeks ago, there was a Battle Creek invite, and the Avani Wilkie champed out at the Battle Creek invite. So congratulations to Avani. Okay, and then a couple days ago, the Lewis and Clark Conference wrestling meets happened, and we have the results for that. I believe the boys did a really good job in the wrestling meet, as well as the girls. I always get information from the athletic director and the wrestling coach, and try to get as much information as I could about the results of these meets and stuff like that. So it looks like for the Winnebago boys, for the conference wrestling meet, you had a number of people that placed, and it looks like Winnebago actually placed fourth in the conference in wrestling. So congratulations to the team. And I'm going to read a couple of these off right here. Patrick Burt, third place. Aiden Robles, runner-up. Alonzo Bass, third place. Jared Doxey, runner-up. Santonio Neiman, third place. And Tristan Earth, fourth place. And like I said, the team placed fourth out of the conference, and I believe there's 16 or 20 teams in the Lewis and Clark Conference. So congratulations to Winnebago for placing fourth, and congratulations for you gentlemen for medaling out. Okay, so now we're going to get into the girls' competition for the Lewis and Clark. It looks like Ricardo Littlewalker came home with a third place medal. And some really good news. Avani Wilkie and Darian Earth became two-time conference champions. They both are. Avani went 5-0 on the day at 145 pounds, and Darian went 3-0 at 235 pounds. Congratulations to the girls. Coach Alberts, since you're up at the school, do you hear any of the hype from the students or the faculty in the hallways or in your classroom, and anything about the girls wrestling or the boys wrestling?
Well, I do a little bit of it. I have the Doxy.
Jared?
I have Jared, and I have Bert.
Patrick,
I got him too, and Tristan. I have him in class. And so I have some of those classes, so sometimes, we do talk a little wrestling and try to, that's one thing I try to do in class. We don't, I'm not a teacher that teaches bell to bell. You've got to be able to talk about what the kids do outside the classroom too, you know,
Yep.
on the mats, on the floor, on the field, wherever. And so sometimes we need to find out from them and those kind of things from them. So I did get to talk to them a little bit, and I also have Darian in class, and I know she was wrestling up.
Yeah.
In that heavyweight class, I think is where she was actually wrestling at,
Yep.
or in that heavyweight class, and I knew that she did pretty good. So yeah, I do get to hear some good things.
Well, that's good because, that's one of the things that the girls probably need is they need their classmates and their teachers and other staff and faculty to, continue on being encouraging and, encouraging these athletes to continue on doing what they're doing because, all these athletes they're all looking for a state championship. That is the ultimate goal, and whether you're undefeated or whether you're you don't win one meet or one match, your ultimate goal is still a state championship. And we have some wrestlers that gone on, even though wrestling hasn't been here that long in Winnebago. We have some wrestlers go on and pay for some kids' schooling, like we were talking about during basketball. So great job for the coaching staff here in Winnebago, and congratulations to the girls for champing out, and congratulations to the boys for placing fourth as a team.
Congratulations.
Yep, and we're gonna do a station identification.
Yep, we are here on episode 8 for the Big Voice Sports on KWTN 100.9 FM, Allen, Nebraska, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.
All right, thank you, Bethany. All right, so Coach Albert's the next topic now. I want to know what you know. So one of the topics that we've been talking about here on the sports talk show, and also kind of friend to friend talking, person to person talking, man to man talking, worker to worker talking. We're always trying to get boxing here in Winnebago. Do you have any link with any boxing, or what do you think about boxing?
I wish you'd seen his face when you said that.
You should see my face when I said that. I don't know a whole lot about boxing.
Oh, yeah?
That's something I do not. I mean, I watch it once in a while, on TV.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I. No, I don't
You remember
know
back
much
in the
about
day,
it.
like it was hard not to have a favorite fighter. Mike Tyson, Vander Holyfield, stuff like that.
Sugar Ray.
Do you have any favorite boxers today?
No.
No?
I don't.
Okay.
I really don't.
See, back in the day, my dad was a big Muhammad Ali fan. He was a big Muhammad Ali fan. He loved watching Muhammad box and not only beat up his opponent but psych him out. Use his psyche to psych boxers out. And then as we got older, then we got to see Mike Tyson fight. And he was a scary guy. For somebody to fight. And we always thought that would probably be a good boxing match. Mike Tyson, Muhammad at their prime. I know you know both those guys.
Yeah, both of those two guys.
Who do you think you would have took? Who do you think would have won that fight, and why?
I would say Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali?
I would say.
And then why?
Age.
Age?
I think he was a smarter fighter.
Smarter.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from
Yeah.
the other boxer, but I don't know. He was kind of, when you mention icons about any type of boxing, I think the first name that comes to most people is Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I mean, that is,
Yeah.
and Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Those are the type of guys that you think of, when you think of boxing, I guess. But,
Yeah.
And I don't know, are there names out there now
Well,
that are like those names?
one
I
name,
mean,
the one name we always talk about, because me and DJ Guaranteed got to see his last couple fights down in Omaha, but the pound for pound champ right now, and I believe they're the light middleweight, and his Terrence Crawford, he's out of Omaha. He likes to fight in Omaha. He likes to bring the fight to his hometown, and the CHI Center's packed all the time, and he has his tickets only. There's tickets for I think the cheapest ticket was for like $40 or $80 or something like that, And he makes it so the fans, his actual fans in the city that he grew up in, that he was born and raised in, gets to see the fight. Because you get them out to Las Vegas or out to Madison Square Garden, those tickets start jacking up about 5 or 6 times about that. Hard to even get a ticket during those times. So yeah, he likes to bring that back home, and he's pound for pound undefeated. You have about 2 or 3 guys ducking and diving him that don't want to fight him because they don't want to tarnish their record.
Right.
So and one of the things that we are trying to do is we're trying to start a boxing club here in Winnebago, and my son Greg, he's the executive director down at the Boys and Girls Club. We have his staff, we have the school, we have Whirling Thunder, and then we have maybe about 4 or 5 volunteers from the community that are all interested in starting this boxing program. So I told myself that tonight on the show I was going to set a date and a time for all these people that I'm talking about to meet up and have a meeting about how we're going to start this up. Who's gonna write the rules and the regs or the bylaws for it. Who's gonna where's gonna be the home base at? Who's gonna get the equipment? Where's the funds gonna come through? All that stuff we're gonna talk about, because all we got to do is get a team effort together, a community team effort together. And just like the wrestling matches that we have in Winnebago, the big old gigantic ones that we have where the parking lot is full, we can do the same thing by getting a boxing ring right in the middle of that gymnasium and packing it up, to watch some bouts for local fighters, our own kids, our own community members out there fighting. So what do you think about that, Coach Alberts?
Well, I was thinking, and maybe I'm totally off, but wasn't there boxing when you were in school?
Yeah, there used to be.
Yeah, down at the youth center or wherever. Yeah. There was. I know there used to be youth boxing.
Yeah, we actually had some matches a couple times before, but it wasn't like a consistent one. And I believe we brought up his name, Dale Blackfish. Rest in peace. Dale. He's actually the last person that actually had a boxing club that had members that we put in the ring. But that was years ago, years ago. And then it was a lot of work by just a few people, and Dale was kind of the head of that, But now I think we have enough interest, and I think boxing. There's a video, a documentary about this girls' boxing club up north somewhere. I think it's up in Montana, and I actually think it's on the Blackfeet Res. But they started a boxing club and trying to teach these women how to fight because of domestic violence, because of kidnapping and all that kind of stuff. They teach these women how to fight, and I thought it was a really impressive documentary. And so, kind of not trying to do a documentary or anything, but just kind of showing that as long as you have the interest, as long as you have somebody or some people that have the passion to do the things, to do the legwork for a project, anything can happen here. And I foresee us having consistent boxing matches here in Winnebago in the near future. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to set up a meeting, and my meeting is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's interested, we're going to go on this coming Monday. So Monday we're going to meet at 4:30 at the Boys and Girls Club. So what's Monday? What's the date Monday, Beth?
Monday
so on Monday we're going to go at 4:30.
The 30th.
So Monday on the 30th, if y'all don't have nothing to do, you ones that are interested in helping out with this boxing thing, let's show up at the Boys and Girls Club at 4:30, and we'll discuss all the things that need to be discussed about the boxing thing, and we'll see how soon we can make it happen. All right, station identification.
Yep, KWTN 100.9 FM, Episode 8, Big Voice Sports Talk Show, here on the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.
All All right. So, Coach Alberts, what do you think? How do you think your guys' season is going to go? Let's talk about this real fast. Like, talk about this conference tournament. I just had that bracket pulled up, and then it just disappeared on me real fast. But here it is.
I'll have it displayed when you get
right
talking
here.
about it, too.
Oh, okay. So, the girls' tournament starts on Saturday, correct?
Yep.
And it looks like, I'm looking at the bracket right now, the first game for Winnebago is at 6 o'clock on Saturday at Emerson. And you guys play...
Tri-County Northeast.
Okay, so you guys played Tri-County Northeast. And did you play Tri-County? You guys played
Yes, we
Tri-County,
did.
did you? And
Yes,
then
we
how'd you
did.
do against them?
We did real well.
Did real well.
Yep.
Okay, good. So if Winnebago, I'll just say at first, just say if Winnebago loses, they'll play at 6 o'clock on Friday. That's just if. But anyway, when they win, it looks like they're going to play at 6 o'clock on Tuesday against number 9 seed Wausau. Have you heard anything about Wausau?
A little bit.
A little bit. Well, being at a number 9 seed, they probably had a little bit better record than y'all, but at a 9 seed, it couldn't be too much better.
No. You got to realize a lot of these, I really like the way they do this with the gold and the silver bracket. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
And part of it is, we are, as Winnebago, we're the only C1 school in the conference. So all the C2 schools, all the D1 schools, all the D2 schools, especially the D2 and the D1s, gain a lot of bonus points every time they play a school that's bigger, even if they lose. So that's affected when they do PowerPoints, that affects where we fall in that.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of weird that Tri-County Northeast is actually seated ahead of us, and we beat them 56-15. So when you beat somebody by 30-some points, and that was a game that we played really well.
Yeah.
But when you beat a team like that, you kind of wonder, why are they seated higher than you are?
Yeah.
And they got pretty much the same record as we got. So and then there's some other teams down, in the bracket there. So I think it looks really promising for us.
Yeah.
You get that first win, and I think Wausau's definitely beatable. And then we're going to find out the other best team down in the lower bracket is Hartington Newcastle.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out. We got them tomorrow night in Hartington.
Which one would that be? The game against Walt Hill or the game against Creighton?
Walt Hill.
The Walt Hill, Hartington?
I think the Walt Hill game, it says number 10 seed, HN.
Oh, yeah,
that's Hartington Newcastle.
Okay. Yep. So, well, good luck to the girls this weekend on Saturday when they go up against Tri-County. And, hopefully they'll do the same thing they did last time.
Yeah, we're hoping that everything goes good Saturday, and we're playing Tuesday and Friday.
Yeah.
And Tuesday and Friday. You get that one Saturday,
Well,
and then you will be playing Tuesday
I was going to say good
Friday.
rest in between, but not really rest. Just you're going to have to give a lot of shots up and, get some game plan down, get some discipline drills down,
Some time to prepare. In between.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks a lot on that one. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about the boys bracket. Looks like the boys bracket starts on Monday, and Winnebago is the number 8 seed, and they play against the number 1 seed, Why Not? And that's 6 o'clock on Monday, and I believe that game's going to be held in Why Not.
Mm-hmm.
So just one small thing, Winnebago played Why Not. Why Not came in, I think they were 11-1 at the time when they came into Winnebago and play. Winnebago, that's when they started, after Christmas, when they started getting hot. Players their defense started stepping up. The boys share the ball so well, and they beat Why Not, and I think they beat them pretty good too by maybe 10 or more points. So I'm really looking at a good game right there. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just saying if they lose, they play Thursday at 6 if they lose, but when they win, they will play at 6 o'clock on Thursday, and they'll play the winner out of looks like Laurel Concord Coleridge. Is that the
Laurel, Concord, Coleridge, and Ponca, right? That's,
okay? And then Ponca, and Winnebago played both those teams before. They played Lower Concord twice. Didn't do well in the holiday tournament against them the first time. Lost big, but came back a week later and played them again and only lost by, I believe it was only like 7 points or something.
and
like
no,
that.
they actually had a last-second shot.
Or 3. They lost
And
by
missed-
3, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Went-
So it was a 3-point
Went down
game.
and come back out and didn't stay down, and they lost it by 2, I think,
Yeah.
or 1.
So
yeah.
so I'm really looking at if LCC beats Ponca in their first game, that I think we can get over that hump, and it's in Winnebago's favor right now because just I think they're hot. And I think they're gelling real well right now at this time, right before the tournament starts. So and then if they when they win that game right there against LCC or Ponca, then the championship game will be on Monday at 8:00 p.m. at Wayne State.
Nice. I want to
So,
add something in
yeah,
there,
go ahead.
Coach Q. So just to make mention, for the Big Voice, we would like to possibly head over to Wynot on Monday
Oh,
to
yeah.
cover that, to live stream it. So
Yeah.
if there is anyone out there listening, if you would like to possibly sponsor us to head out to Wynot on Monday, the 30th,
Yep.
please reach out to me, bethany.redhorn@winnebagotribe.com. It's bethani.redhorn@winnebagotribe.com.
Yeah, if we can find a sponsor, we'll bring this game right to your living room, ladies and gentlemen, or
Yes.
right to the speakers in your car. So, if you don't have a sponsor, or if you can't sponsor, but you know somebody that could, send them our way.
Yes.
I just throw something in on the
Yeah.
boys. I think, you and I kind of had this conversation a little bit earlier, too, that I think the boys right now are playing about as good as anybody else around.
Yeah.
I mean, when they're at full strength and they have, they're starting to gel a little bit. And,
Yeah.
I think they're a dangerous. I wouldn't want to play them now.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of other teams in the conference that I would rather play. And I told the boys that. I said, the district looks open for you guys, wide open. I said, all you got to do is put things together.
For real.
And it can happen.
Yeah, right before I come up here, I stopped down to grab a diet soda, and I saw one of our premier guards, Duran, down there, and gave him a high five, shook his hand, told him, congratulations on the last couple games, and told him reminded him that he's a senior, and that he needs to be one of the guys to make sure that the rest of the team is, being on point, showing up to class, getting their schoolwork done, making it to practice, not trying to be lazy and skip school, none of that stuff. He's one of the leaders on the team, and he should be helping those youngsters and his classmates on doing all the right things, because this season is on the downward slope here, and one of the things that we see good about it is, like you said, they're gelling good right at the perfect time, and they got a few more weeks to work out all the kinks until the postseason, and when postseason comes, they might be ready. All right, so
Do you know if Wynot still has that wonderful gym? Travis Mallory asked.
that the barn gym with the tile floor, yeah.
They don't have tile
No,
anymore.
I think they redid the floor though, but it's still the same.
It's still the barn,
Still
I
the
think.
same gym though. I think it was more like a Quonset, wasn't it? Like one of those little dome-looking things.
So real quick, I wanted to add, you got a comment from Tim Snow for Coach Elbs right here. It says, welcome back home, Coach Elbs. Good seeing you again.
Oh, Timmy.
And then Coach Q, you got a YouTube comment from Roger Snake. It says, hey, grandson Q, watching on YouTube. Keep up the good work and leadership.
Ahoo. Yeah, thank you, Choka. Ahoo. And then, shout out to you, Tim Snow. Thanks for listening, bro. Yeah, we'll keep Todd Alberts over here until he don't like us no more.
And then Billy D, our camera operator, we had he said Winnebago is the 2-time defending conference champs.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we got to defend our title, We got to keep that championship right here in Winnebago. So you boys play hard, play together, trust each other, and you guys got this. Listen to your coaches. All right. So we're going to move on to this next subject right here. We got a few minutes left, and I'm just going to do a real quick shout out on this next one. Peru State basketball tonight. I believe the girls play at 6. They're probably getting ready to start right now, and the boys play about 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So Natasha Deal from Winnebago is still hooping down there in Peru, representing her families, representing her peoples. Good luck, Natasha. Play hard, play Winnebago basketball, and then right after that, the boys getting ready to play too. And my nephew's down there, the Winget brothers. David started playing maybe about a week and a half ago, and right off the bat, he started knocking down threes, and I believe he scored like 23, then 15, then 17, and so like he's been in there lighting it up. We kind of all knew that he was gonna come around, coming from a D1 school to come play basketball down at Peru State, and we kind of figured it was gonna be a little bit easy. Now he's putting in work down there. It's not easy, but he is balling out there. I think he's feeling like he's back to his old self again. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't doing anything this evening, just go to Peru State, I think .edu, and just right on the front page, you'll see men's basketball, and just click on that link, and I believe they just show the live feed right from that first page there. So, I know I'm going to be watching. So, you boys play hard, play Bagel Boys basketball, and good luck. All right, I have one down here on. Let's go to number 6 right here because we got a couple minutes left. NFL predictions for the Super Bowl. Beth and Coach Alberts. There's 4 teams left. There's 4 teams left. So we have the Chiefs, which is my son Rakeem's favorite team, and the Bengals, which. I can't say they're my favorite team, but I'm going for them though. They're playing in a championship game in their conference, and then over on the other side they got the Philadelphia Eagles and the 49ers. Okay, so I told you the teams, and I told you who plays who. So who do you think's gonna make the Super Bowl this year? Beth.
I'm going to go with, so I previously, I'm not going to say why or who or nothing, but I just included the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm going to go with them.
The Chiefs.
And then, so they're playing the Bengals, or the other side is, they're playing the other side?
They're playing the Bengals.
And then I'm going to go with the 49ers.
The 49ers?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Chiefs and the 49ers. Chiefs and the 49ers. We're going to talk about this again in a couple weeks. All right, Coach Alberts, who you got?
Who I want?
Yeah. Who? Okay, so if you're here, I'll ask you like this: if you're putting money down, who do you got?
It would be. I think it'd be really hard to go against Kansas City.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping the Bengals get there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it for. They got their quarterback. I think is really good. I think they got some good Chase, good wide receiver. They got some. Is it Mixon? The running back is really good. They got a good offensive line. They got a good defensive line. They're coached by an old Nebraska boy, Zach Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
So I'd like to see it to be Cincinnati and Philadelphia.
And Philly. All right. You like the Jalen Hurts, the quarterback?
Yeah.
He's pretty tough, huh?
And they got a good defense.
Yeah. Oh, they got that Nebraska boy right there in the middle too.
We got Mr. Sue in the middle there too.
Man, he was. I think he planned that. I'm gonna mess up and I'm gonna go on the inactive list until somebody picks me up. Then as soon as the Eagles called, let's go. I'm getting another ring here. All right. So well, thanks for your guys' predictions. Myself, I'm gonna teeter-totter. I'm gonna lean over towards the Bengals. Okay, and I think I mentioned this on the show before, but. Right now, I believe the Bengals and the Chiefs played 5 times. The last 5 times that Joe Burrow faced Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow's undefeated. So Patrick Mahomes actually, even though they got the higher seed, he's probably got to put some work in because I believe he's got an injured ankle, a high ankle sprain that he's coming off of. And we all remember a couple years ago when they were on that good run where they hardly lost any games. He got turf toe, and after that, they lost the chances and kind of handed that Super Bowl ring to Tom Brady. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with the Bengals on that side, and I believe I'll go with the Eagles as well because I like that old Oklahoma quarterback Jalen Hurts. He's tough. I love those quarterbacks that run the ball too.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my predictions for that Super Bowl game, and then we'll come back again and we'll talk about who's going to win the Super Bowl. But just to remind you guys, I tried to do this prediction for the Super Bowl about 2-3 weeks ago, and all my teams lost. And during the playoffs for the college, all my teams lost. I didn't get one right. So watch, it's probably going to be the Chiefs and the 49ers playing just because I said that. All right. Well, I tell you what, it's 6:02. I'm going to save natives in the NBA for next week, but I would want to go to number 7, and hopefully you guys thought about this just a little bit, but we're at the end of the show, we always pick a weekly winner. And so while you guys think about yours, I'm going to go ahead and tell you mine. My weekly winner is, out of all the topics that we talked about, oh my goodness. Okay, so I remember I gave Avani Wilkie a couple weeks ago a weekly winner. Mm-hmm. So just to be fair, I'm going to give Reese Lovejoy the weekly winner for attaining his 1,000-point mark for his career in basketball, because that is a difficult task to do, So my weekly winner is Reese Lovejoy.
Me, I am going to go with, and I thought about it because it was just the cutest thing. So last night, if you tuned into the live stream or if you attended the game, during halftime of the girls' game, there was a cute little game that we got to watch.
The third grade girls.
Yes, and I swear I'm gonna give my winners to all them both teams.
Oh, there you go.
Because that was just cute. One. They were getting the shots up and everything, and it was cute.
Thanks to all those little girls out there playing ball. There were some baskets made too, and some good defensive plays. So shout out to all the coaches, Doreen, Vanna, and Tu, and I believe there's Tara. So you girls,
shout out to them ladies.
You girls are doing a good job. Keep it up. Mm-hmm. You guys noticed that the junior high girls went almost undefeated, and then I think it's the 6th grade girls. I think they almost went undefeated this year, and the 2 teams that were playing last night, they are both undefeated in their league. So good job to all the coaches. If that's what's happening in our girls program right now, we're moving in the right direction. Mm-hmm. All right. Coach Alberts, your weekly winner.
Well, I'm a little bit biased, so I'm going to have to go with the girls' basketball team completely down there in Winnebago. I just think our girls have made some really good strides this year, and I think there's, like I said, they're starting to find their identities. I'm enjoying the heck out of it, and I know the other coaches are too. They're just a really fun group of girls to work with. We're young. They're full of energy, and like I said, I just really enjoy being around them, and I think we're making steps in the right direction. So Shout out to them. Girls, just keep working hard. We got conference coming up, and it's ours to take if we can put things together, put 3 games together, we'll be champions here in that silver division.
Yeah, let's go. Well, before we cut out the show, I just want to say good luck to all the boys and girls basketball teams coming up on this conference tournament. Take your time, be patient, play basketball, and just know this old saying that offense wins games, but defense wins championships. So when you're on the defensive end, you got to go all out, get tired as you possibly can, get subbed out, and go right back in there and get tired. Continue on doing that, and you guys should be just fine. All right. So
I'm going to add in there real quick. So just wanted to, again, reiterate that we are interested in hoping we can make it out to Why Not on Monday.
Yes.
So if you are interested in sponsoring our live stream production for Monday the 30th, please email me at bethany.redhorn, bethani.redhorn@winnebagotribe.com. Also, be sure to join us tomorrow for All Requests Live at 11 a.m., and following that at 2 p.m., we'll be going live with our Ho Chunk Inc. apprentices, Marlon and Morgan, Following that, we'll be going live at 4 with MCBKC for Res Ride. And then, so that's our Thursday programming. Then tune in with us on Friday as well. We'll be getting into the Friday Night Hot Mix with DJ Blue at 7 p.m., followed by Midnight Love at 10 p.m. with MCBKC.
Midnight Love.
And if you have any requests you want to hear in the shows, make sure you text the hotline. It's 402-922-3347. I almost said I don't know what I was going to say. But.
Yeah, and for the sports show on every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, if you listeners have a topic that you would like for us to discuss here, more than likely it's going to be myself, DJ Bessami, DJ Guaranteed, and we're always trying to have a special guest coach or some of our student athletes come up to be the people that we interview. So so it'd be good to get I guess people's opinions and their thoughts on all kind of issues.
Yes.
So if you have any topics that you want us to talk about or that you would like to talk about, and then just shoot us a message on here.
Yep. Shout out to everybody that's commented, and someone even won themselves a shirt. And thank you for tuning in with us here on the Big Voice Radio.
Yeah, Rocky. Don't forget your shirt. It'll be up here at the radio station. Yeah, and then for you listeners, please, when you see the link every week, please click on share, and let's see how many people we can get to listen.
Yeah, so just to maybe hype it up next week. So if you tune in next week with us on Wednesday, the first person to share the live stream will win themselves a new Big Voice shirt.
Oh, let's go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So have a good night, everybody.
Good night.